Government still paying taxi bosses. COVID grants. In 2025 today, the Minister of Transport stood before the nation and admitted what should never have passed beyond 2020. We are still paying COVID-19 relief funds to taxi bosses. Let that sink in. The pandemic ended years ago. Billions have vanished. Roads are collapsing. Hospitals are understaffed. Crime is rampant. And yet taxi bosses, the richest untaxed players in the informal economy, are still getting pandemic grants. Let's state the obvious. The taxi industry never shut down fully during lockdowns. Most continue to operate illegally, packing passengers and collecting cash. They are not registered taxpayers, not registered businesses, and most didn't follow any COVID protocols. They did not report losses. They are not monitored, yet they're getting monthly payments from a state that claims it's broke? Who else is getting grants years later? Are spaza shops getting back pay? Are nurses still being thanked with COVID checks? Are informal traders, street vendors, and jobless families being funded monthly? No, only taxi bosses, because they have the power to shut cities down. That's it. They are paid to behave. Life between the seats, the secret economy of South Africa's taxi empire. South Africa's minibus taxi industry isn't just public transport, it's a shadow empire, a world of untraceable cash, fear-enforced order, and blood-soaked power. Welcome to the only industry in post-apartheid South Africa that's more powerful than the state itself. You thought it was just a ride. The minibus taxi industry moves more people than any other transport system in South Africa. But behind the sliding doors and blaring Kwaito lies a parallel republic, a kingdom of cash, bullets, and silence. Here are 10 truths you're not supposed to know. Number 1, every fare is untraceable. Every day is tax-free. It's a R40 billion industry with no tax footprint. You read that, right? The taxi industry generates tens of billions annually, yet hardly contributes to SARS. Most operators don't issue receipts, report income, or pay VAT. It's South Africa's biggest cash-based empire, and it lives outside the formal economy. From first light to nightfall, drivers collect cash from passengers. At the end of the day, it's handed to the boss. No receipts, no deposits, no VAT. Yes! The taxi industry pulls in an estimated 40 billion rand annually, yet SARS sees none of it. It's a fully cash-based empire hiding in plain sight. Number 2, taxi. Bosses are the real bankers of the township. They lend cash with no paperwork, fund funerals, side hustles, and even tender wars. Taxi bosses are the banks, the benefactors, and the gatekeepers of township capital. Need a loan? Forget the bank. Go to a taxi boss. They fund funerals, bribe police, bankroll political campaigns, and even settle tender disputes. They're warlords with cash flow, not credit cards. If you borrow money from them, you don't pay with interest. You pay with silence. Number 3, a route is not a line. It's a battlefield. Taxi routes are territory, and territory is blood. The right to pick up passengers on a busy route can earn millions per year. That's why it's protected not by law, but by gunfire. Routes are territory, and territory is life or death. A popular stretch from Soweto to Joburg CBD can earn millions a year. That's why disputes are often resolved with AK-47s, not negotiations. Taxi violence is just a polite phrase for murder. Number 4, their guns are bigger than yours AK-47s, R5s, pump-action shotguns. Taxi enforcers are ex-soldiers, bodyguards, and trained killers. Many taxi ranks are better armed than local police. Stations. You're not looking at public transport. You're looking at a mobile paramilitary force. Let me repeat for emphasis. Go to a taxi rank at war and you'll find men with military-grade weapons. R5s, AKs, pistols. Some ranks operate like barracks, and many drivers are ex-soldiers or former security guards. This is not transport. It's urban warfare on wheels. Hitmen are hired like consultants. Rivals don't get outcompeted. They get assassinated. Boardroom disputes in the taxi world are solved with silences. Number 5, politicians are passengers in the taxi empire. Government doesn't regulate the taxi industry. It negotiates with it. Ministers don't command. They beg. Come elections, taxi bosses control crowds, mobilize protests, and deliver votes. They are more feared than premiers, more influential than mayors. Number 6. Midday hustle. Taxes double as brothels fall. Quick cash after the morning rush. Some taxi drivers switch businesses. They offer secluded rides for sex, not with sex workers, but with schoolgirls, married women, and vulnerable teens. It's transactional, it's widespread, and it's an epidemic hidden in plain view. No one talks. Everyone knows. Number 7. The taxi boot is South Africa's best courier for guns and drugs. Taxis move more than people. They move parcels, daga, nyaupe, illegal guns with speed and zero traceability. No courier can match their reach or silence. It's the perfect delivery service for the underworld. Number 8. Taxi ranks are the incubators of assassins. Many feared hitmen across South Africa graduated from taxi wars. These aren't impulsive. Street thugs. These are men trained to kill, vanish, and never speak. They've carried out political hits, silenced whistleblowers, and executed rivals. Number 9. Corruption isn't an accident. It's the business model bribes fuel the system. Traffic cops are paid off, licenses faked, investigations buried. The entire model thrives because corruption is the glue that keeps it together. From Northwest to Mpumalanga, tender barons and taxi bosses are often the same men. They move between municipal deals and taxi ranks like it's the same chessboard. One Sil Botswana, a textbook case. When corruption turns on itself, bodies drop. Number 10. The taxi industry isn't part of the state. It replaced it. It has its own laws, soldiers, cash flow, justice system, and enforcers. Where the state is weak, the taxi system steps in, not with social care, but with control. It is a sovereign power operating within a collapsing nation. Number 11. They march to government to cancel their traffic fines and win. When millions in unpaid fines pile up, the taxi industry doesn't apologize. It mobilizes. They shut down cities, blockade highways, and storm government offices. Not to protest injustice, but to demand the cancellation of fines for their own illegal conduct. And guess what? It works. Politicians cave. Fines are written off. Or payment plans are arranged. Interest-free. They don't march for justice. They march for immunity. The taxi industry is not broken. It is operating exactly as designed, to dominate through fear, to profit through silence, and to remain untouched while the rest of the country crumbles under laws they don't respect. Life between the seats is not just about movement. It's about power, survival, and a bloodstained kind of sovereignty. The question isn't when the taxi industry will change. The question is, who has the guts to try? Let's dig into the axis of tenders, taxi money, and hitmen. The unholy trinity at the heart of South Africa's most dangerous underworld economy. This is not fiction. This is the shadow state operating beside and often inside government. Tenders, the gateway drug to corruption. Tenderpreneurship is how you loot legally. Public funds are siphoned through inflated contracts, fake companies, and politically connected fronts. But tenders also do something else. They create enemies. Every tender won means someone else lost. In corrupt circles, losing isn't acceptable. Politicians hand tenders to allies. These allies subcontract taxi bosses or hitmen to sort out competitors or whistleblowers. Municipal budgets become blood money pipelines. Botswana's death was not an isolated event. He symbolized this: a man walking both the legitimate tender corridors and the taxi underworld. Taxi money, untaxed, unmonitored, unlimited. The taxi industry is a black market bank. Here's how it plugs into the axis. It launders money from corrupt contracts. It funds political campaigns illegally. It provides cash to hire hitmen without paper trails. It serves as a retirement plan for tender kings who can't explain their wealth to SARS. Taxi bosses don't just own taxis. They own properties, she-beans, security companies, and burial societies. They are the cash lords of the townships, and they protect their empires like drug lords protect turf. Hitmen. The enforcers of the underground South Africa has a murder-for-hire industry, and many of its clients come from this axis. Taxi wars created a generation of professional killers. These killers moved into the world of politics and tenders. For R5,000, R100,000, a life can be erased. Hitmen operate across provinces. Many are ex-cops or moonlighting officers. They know the system and how to dodge it. Some hits are even blessed by insiders. The axis in motion, a scenario, apolitically. Connected tenderpreneur gets awarded a $20 million contract for road repairs. A rival who leaked the corruption gets targeted. Taxi bosses, linked through business deals, provide cash and connections. A hitman from the taxi world executes the rival. Everyone remains silent. The public sees it as just another taxi hit. The culture of fear. Why don't people talk? Because everyone knows someone who got shot. Because the line between politician, businessman, and killer has blurred. Because journalists who dig too deep end up like Karima Brown, harassed, threatened, or worse. Many of South Africa's most feared hitmen started in the taxi industry, trained in loyalty, ruthlessness, and how to kill without leaving a trace. They graduate from guarding routes to executing political hits, and they rarely talk. This axis is not just corruption. It's a shadow economy with its own banks, taxes, governance, intimidation, and courts, the bullet. It is capitalism without conscience, government without law, and power without transparency. Conclusion. Remember this. The taxi industry isn't just about moving people. It's about controlling territory, silencing enemies, and running the biggest underground economy on the continent. It's not just a ride, it's a kingdom.